judicial activism, judicial overreach. These two terms are very important as far as the Indian Constitution, interpretation of the Indian Constitution is concerned. Now we have, explicitly we have, under Article 32 and Article 226, we have judicial review. Under the explicitly we have in our Constitution, this is judicial review. Whereas judicial activism and judicial overreach, these two terms are interpreting as a overactivation from the judiciary, especially from our honorable highest judiciary, the Supreme Court of India. Now we have, a perfect classical example. Now we have a perfect book example regarding the judicial activism as well as judicial overreach beyond the explicitly mentioned given by the Indian Court, that is the judicial review under Article 32 and Article 226. Now we have a perfect example. Just look at it. It is unfolding now. It is unfolding. On July 19th this year, we have a viral video regarding the two women brutally, nakedly paraded in Manipur. Out of these three women, two were reportedly raped. These two women now went to Supreme Court of India. After the July 19th, this viral video, on July 20th, the Supreme Court of India, by exercising its judicial review, but we can term it as a judicial activism, it took this case as a suo motu and it started to investigate itself. No one approached the Supreme Court of India. By taking this incident as from the national media, from this social media, it took this case as a suo motu. This is what judicial activism. Nobody approached the Supreme Court of India based on this public interest litigation or any under Article 32 or else Article 226 to any High Court of India, any High Courts of India. The Supreme Court directly took this as a suo motu. Now, since then, look at the incidents. Now, the Supreme Court of India commented and started yesterday, on July 31st, the Supreme Court of India appointed a special investigation team. It is beyond judicial activism, that is a judicial overreach. Now, just we try to understand the terms like what is the judicial review. Judicial review is a power conferred on the judiciary, Indian judiciary, especially Supreme Court of India and High Courts of India. Under Article 32 to Supreme Court of India, under Article 226 to various High Courts of India. The Constitution itself conferred the right to protect the Indian Constitution, especially to protect the fundamental rights of the people, has been given under Part 3 of the Indian Constitution from the Article 12 to 35. So Article 32 itself is a fundamental right according to the various Supreme Court judgments. You know this one. Now this is what the judicial review. Now what is judicial activism? Judicial activism is a proactive role of the Indian judiciary to interpreting and enforcement of these fundamental rights of the citizens and various rights of the citizens whenever there is a violation of Article 14. This is what for the equal protection of the law and equal protection of the law and equality before the law. Under Article 15, etc., especially Article 19 also. Whenever these are violated, if any actually the legislative and executive should protect them. If these two are mute spectator, the Supreme Court coming to intervene. This is what judicial activism. Later, judicial overreach. So goes beyond the judicial activism and taking its own activities to protect the fundamental right. It is known as judicial overreach. Now, as far as this Manipur violence is concerned, the Supreme Court activities is concerned. Now we can see that judicial activism and judicial overreach as well. So now under the judicial overreach, we can term it as a judicial overreach. On July 31st, the Supreme Court of India appointed a special investigation team. Actually, it's putting set aside of the state and central governments transferred these cases to the CBI. Now, Supreme Court, though it didn't categorically said that no need of any CBI, it appointed its own special investigation team to investigate into this one. On the other hand, the opposition parties, almost all opposition parties, 24 parties, is recently allied as a India, the group of India. Around a number of the MPs visited to investigate into this matter on the part of the opposition parties. There is a complete criticism against the state government as well as central government regarding the containment of this violence. Almost started since April, unabatedly and incessantly it has been happening, violence activities. No internet, okay, no media, permission to these areas, however happening. Okay, now the Supreme Court of India commented used various comments. The first comment is regarding this one. Why the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, commented that I surprised to see that why this state government and central governments are groping for the facts regarding these violence activities, murder, rape, gang rape, and naked paraded, etc., etc. When these things are easily becoming viral and known to in the national media to the whole nation. Why they are groping for the facts in the darkness? This is the comment from the Supreme Court of India. And another one is, it is commented against the police inaction. Okay, what did this police for 14 days to register even a zero FIR? Okay, this incident reportedly took place on May 4th. This paraded of the 3 women nakedly by a mob. This incident took place on May 4th in Throuh district of Manipur. Okay, the police registered case after by May 18th, around 14 days they took. Now Supreme Court of India commented why they took the 14 days to register even a zero FIR. Okay, and also another important things from the Supreme Court on the part of Supreme Court of India is now the complete crackdown of the 6,000 FIRs, first information reported said to be registered by the Manipur government. And it asked the government to categorize and submit in a way to easily understood, comprehend these 6,000 FIR cases by the Manipur state government. Now it's almost implicitly and explicitly we can say that especially the Kapil Sibal, who is arguing on behalf of these 2 women victims. On the other hand, on behalf of the state government, Solicitor General, on the behalf of the central government, Attorney General, both are arguing. Now the Kapil Sibal, okay, alleged that the police, okay, purportedly hand out these 3 women to the mob. Police were inactive, they were mute spectators. Okay, this mob, they didn't register even a case. Now Supreme Court of India, this is almost might have been given credence to his argument, and it appointed a special investigation team by exercising its, almost we can term it is a judicial, not only overreach, judicial overreach. So this is the perfect example. Now it is better to keenly observe what is happening regarding the judicial review under Article 32, 226 and judicial activism, proactive role of the judiciary regarding interpretation and taking the and giving the commands to protect the citizens, especially the fundamental rights of the citizens, and judicial overreach. Okay, set aside the state executive and legislative mechanisms and take its own steps to protect the fundamental rights of the citizens. Though these are all these things we can see. Okay, as far as this Manipur violence is concerned, it is almost started in April of this year. Since then, it has been incessantly, it has been happening. Okay, there is a over concern from the citizens of India across the country, even international wide also. So, as far as this violence is concerned, what is happening there? This we can term it as a ethnic violence. As Supreme Court used this term, or else civil strife. And also, there may be allegedly there may be a communal angle is also there, religious angle is also there between the Maithis and this mostly Hindus. And of course, this religious matter is not a explicit one. The most important thing is regarding this reservation and poverty, underdevelopment. This is the major cause behind this civil strife or ethnic violence. Now this is slowly it is turning a communal and other violences because of the failure in containing this violence. And also this Manipur is situated amidst this Nagaland, this northeastern area. This is highly disturbed where AFSP or act is also there. Okay, and also this is the international boundary. There is another side is a failed state Myanmar. from where that's emanating this terrorists. Okay, these separatist forces coming and entered into this force, they are also involving. Okay, states and government, central government are striving hardly to contain this violence. However, this situation, this geographical situation and social and various situation and tribal atmosphere, ecosystem in this area is creating hurdles to contain this violence. So this is the challenge to the entire nation. This is the biggest challenge. Now Manipur violence is the biggest challenge to is fastest growing economy of the world, and India is a highly successful democratic nation. There is no doubt we have the successful constitution probably on the earth surface. It is beyond. Our Prime Minister terming this is the mother of the democracy. Yes, we have been living under the greatest constitution since for the last 75 years. Now this constitution, okay, proved beyond any other doubt that it can lead this nation, okay, to revive its what we had lost in the 2.5 centuries the British rule. Such a constitution we have, the greatest constitution we have. This constitution proved that it can lead this living civilization, an uninterrupted civilization. Now this Manipur violence is posing a greatest threat to and testing our constitutionality, our three wings of the Indian constitution, that is the legislative, executive and judiciary. Now judiciary is started to playing its role. It is a great this occasion to the Indians, and every Indian is approving and conceding with the what the Supreme Court of India is taking up. So they have lost trust in certain executive local police, but they can believe in the Indian judiciary. So that is what the beauty of Indian democracy.